Hey guys, it's me, and welcome to Under the Doorag. I know we have some new people here, but for those of you who haven't been here, basically when I don't have a Doorag on, that means that rather than approaching you as Shady Doorags the entertainer, I'm approaching you as Montreal McCall, the content creator. Basically, it's a kind of behind the scenes kind of thing, not scripted or anything like that. But I wanted to talk about the thing going on with net neutrality. Basically, on my channel, I try not to talk too much about drama or real world related stuff. Not because I have no interest in that or anything. I'm actually really fascinated by certain aspects of drama. But because I don't want my channel to be that kind of channel, at least not at the moment. If I ever want my channel to be that kind of channel, then yeah, I'll totally do it. But when I see something affecting content creators as a whole, I feel the need to speak up. The last thing I spoke up about was where's the fair use. The last thing I wanted to speak up about was the whole PewDiePie fiasco with the Wall Street Journal, but I didn't have time at the time. So with this whole net neutrality thing, first off, I don't want anybody thinking I'm some sort of expert on this. I'm not an expert in law. I'm not an expert in politics. The closest thing I'm an expert to is an expert in programming, software engineering. So if you're just thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm going to base my opinion off of this video, probably shouldn't do that. I can't stop you from doing that, but you probably shouldn't. But with net neutrality, I recently found out about this, like within the last year. What net neutrality is that in the United States, we have this law that makes it so companies can't charge different prices for different websites. They have to treat all information the same. That's basically how it was explained to me. And when I heard about that, I thought that seems basic. I thought that was just basic instinct to do that. But apparently without net neutrality, there is the chance that companies could charge based on different criteria. And when I heard that net neutrality there's a potential for it to be gotten rid of, I did a little bit of research, decided that I was for net neutrality, wrote to my local congressman or senator or whoever it was, I don't remember who it was at the time, but I wrote to them just saying that I thought we should keep it, that it just seemed good. Like, getting rid of it might have seemed good on paper, but it really seemed like a illegitimate thing put into practice. So I saw a lot of other people doing this too, just saying that net neutrality is something we need. But it was really shocking to me when I saw the other day that net neutrality is actually getting gotten rid of. I believe it's going to be by the end of the year. We're not going to have net neutrality. And yeah, it really shocked me. Like, just flabbergasted in a way that kind of made me somewhat scared. I don't follow politics too much. Whatever laws are made, I generally just follow the law. But this one was like, I wanted to say something. Not to speak out against it, but just to speak my mind in what's going on. Basically, I'm seeing a lot of people who I personally support, saying that they're completely against net neutrality. And when you see things like that, you want to jump on the bandwagon. Like, hey, that person has good moral standings. I agree with them on a lot of things, so naturally I'll agree with them on this. However, with a lot of the things I've seen in the past couple of years over the internet, going with the crowd just doesn't seem like a good idea at this time. So I looked up different viewpoints on what's going on. And the for net neutrality is basically felt the same way I felt, that it's information all being treated equal, and that's good. The against net neutrality gave the argument that it's fair. The internet is still a business, and the internet company providers are still a business, and they should be able to treat it like one. They weren't really able to put it into ways that could convince me, though. I can see where they're coming from. I don't want everything being treated the exact same on everything I'm on. Like, if I'm on YouTube, yeah, YouTube should more likely give me videos that I'm more likely to watch. So when I search, I don't know, Avatar: The Last Airbender review, I should be able to see a reviewer I'm most likely going to watch instead of a reviewer who just started, because that's fair to the hard work and the popularity that that reviewer has done, or something in that regards. You know, we see reward systems throughout everything, so I can understand somewhat where they're coming from. However, there is I want to say a double-edged sword with it, and that's what people really seem to me to be afraid of. Like I said, ultimately to me it seems like treating information the same. So if I go to a library, really, and they say I can check out 100 items, I don't expect them, when I go to the fiction section, to say, oh wait, that counts as 5 items or something like that. That's probably a bad example, because there probably are libraries that do that. But I just feel that all information should be treated the same at this point in time. And there's one big fear that a lot of people feel is going to come with the extinction of net neutrality. I shouldn't say extinction, but getting rid of net neutrality. And that's censorship. People feel that because company providers can now control the speeds of which things come, or whether or not you can see them at all, that they're going to be censoring the things they don't want you to see, or charging you extra for it, etc., etc. And if you had told me that a couple of years ago, I'd have been like, whatever, companies wouldn't do that. But I have seen this a lot in the past couple of years. And I gave the example of YouTube, you know, their search algorithm. YouTube has, as of lately, been demonstrating certain bias towards people. If you're on any of the right-wing people's YouTube channels, like, they are facing serious discrimination. That's what the algorithm is showing, and that's what people are afraid of. Because now that somebody behind the scenes is allowed to say, hey, this is bad, they can say, hey, this is bad for a reason that I personally find it bad, rather than a rule that everyone can find it bad. That's why people are scared of this censorship thing. Because if someone's personal vendetta gets implemented in there, which it has, again, if this hadn't happened so many times over the past couple of years, I would not even be thinking about it. But it has happened so much. And not just even on the internet. It's been happening in the news, where people just get cut off because they're saying something that the person agrees with. Or in college campuses with protests. Like, people just getting, there's that one guy who got punched in the face because he was saying something somebody disagreed with. Like, there's just all this people not really following the mentality of free speech. And I believe in free speech. Like, you should be able to say the dumbest ideas because it could be a good idea in the long run. The world wasn't flat. We found that out, despite the fact that idiots were saying it was round. So, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this whole thing. As of now, I am for net neutrality. I'm going to be doing some more research on it just to see, because if my opinion doesn't change soon, I'll probably just continue going about it the way you're supposed to, you know, contacting your senator, your congressman, whatever, and just telling them, hey, I don't want this to happen. But as always, if you have a stance on this, I feel you should say something, even if you feel your voice is small. As I always say, well, I don't always say this, but as I say a lot of times when people aren't listening to me, a small noise is better than silence. And if you have a lot of small noises coming together, they make a big noise. So if you have a stance, say something, let it be known. Maybe it doesn't have to be on YouTube. You can contact your senator, or you can do it on some other platform, or etc., etc. But as, like, I just feel that this is a big deal for any content creators, not just for YouTube, for content creators in general. This could affect. I've seen Twitch streamers who are very concerned about this. But again, don't just take my word for it. Do some research, formulate your own opinion based on that. And I guess that's it. So just wanted to let you guys know that. and I'll try to figure out a way to end this video without looking stupid.